Meanwhile, Lu Fan was enjoying lunch with Yi Wuxian, making small talk at the table. Lu Fan furrowed his brows and said, "Did you feel it? The ground is shaking." Senior sister was startled. Earthquake? But the ground shook even more, as if a monster was moving inside the earth. Then came the sound, heavy, roaring, and getting closer with each step. Then the door suddenly opened, and a guard ran in, panting. "Ma'am, there's an animal attack. The whole herd is running towards us." Senior sister glanced at Lu Fan. Her eyes were both surprised and worried. "An animal attack? How is that possible?" She immediately said, "Lu Fan, come on. We have to see how this attack happened." On the other side, all the guards stood at their posts with their weapons in hand and trembling. The eyes of the beasts standing in front of them were shining like embers in the dark. Saliva was dripping from their mouths, as if they had been starved for 100 days. They were about to rush towards them at lightning speed when suddenly a shadow of a man emerged from the dust. Behind him, the shadow of a huge dragon was spreading, tearing the ground. He looked at the guards with ice-cold eyes and roared, "How dare you! Attack Arhu!" There was so much venom in his voice that even the wind stopped. "And on top of that, you want the Wang clan to surrender in 3 days. What a foolish thing! You will pay for it with your life. The Long Ye family and we, the Long clan, were once bloodlines. We honored them, gave them name. But you dared to break the bond. Today, your clan will end here. This is the end you chose." He made a gesture, and his dragon opened its huge jaws and roared, tearing apart the sky. Then, he gave the order, "Crush the manor, not a single one survives." The next moment, the dragon and the rest of the ferocious beasts attacked the guards. The iron shields were shattering with their impact, and only fear and screams echoed all around. The guards were now surrounded. The fear in their eyes was clear. There was no way to escape. The ferocious beasts that were rushing towards Lu Fan's house suddenly leapt into the air. In the blink of an eye, their speed increased so much that even the naked eye could not follow them. They were about to charge straight. At Lu Fan's house, then, a bright golden light tore through the sky. The light formed a giant shield and surrounded Lu Fan's house. As the beasts collided with the shield, a resounding explosion occurred. They fell to the ground with a terrifying sound of flesh and bones, clashing. Some died in agony on the spot. Standing at a distance, the attacker controlling the wolves was stunned by this scene. His eyes widened, lips quivered. Impossible. No one can withstand this pack. Not even the legendary defense scroll. Then, how did they get defeated so easily? Does this clan still have a hidden trump card? What he didn't know was that this shield was activated by Lu Fan himself. The infinite shield. A shield that protects everyone inside. Its power is based on the mage's life force and self-healing, and Lu Fan's mastery of both is unparalleled. From within the shield, the palace gate slowly opened. Lu Fan stepped out. Behind him, Xiaofei's huge body appeared, her eyes burning like embers. Lu Fan's voice was cold and sharp. "After all that, do you still think you can fight me? Are you losing your senses? Today's massacre is all on your head." He paused for a moment, then added sarcastically, "It seems even the Huang and Long families have stopped respecting me." But as soon as the elder sister saw the rider hovering above the mansion, her eyes narrowed. A mixture of deep recognition and anger appeared on her face. She said in a low but firm voice, "Lu Fan, these are the people of the Long family and the Huang family, and they have come together to attack our palace." Lu Fan's gaze went to the rider, but the rider's eyes were already fixed on the elder sister. For a moment, surprise flashed in his eyes, then a slight smile appeared on his lips. "Oh, so this is the Yi family's Buxian?" The rider turned his dragon in the air and came straight in front of Lu Fan. His gaze was now very sharp, as if a warrior from an old tale had recognized his prey. He said in a low but arrogant voice, "So, you are the one who tamed that dragon." Big Sister's eyes turned cold, and she glared at the family rider as if she could tear him apart with her gaze. Then she pointed at Lu Fan without hesitation. "Lu Fan's decision. This is the final seal of this family. And remember, no matter what rank, you will not be able to face him." Her words resounded through the air like the edge of a sword. Heavenly Rider's nostrils flared, and a thick layer of pride spread across his face. He laughed, sarcastically. "A few dragons, a few arrogant words. Think you can scare us away just by gathering people? When the Long and Huang clans stand together, you will see the real battle. And we will definitely get our revenge." Lu Fan's eyes held no fear at all. A faint, cold smile formed on his lips, and he calculated in his mind a wave of beasts, fodder cannons, even a few fourth-level transfers. That's it? For them, it's less than enough, he went on, his voice as cold as iron. "Do you really think that numbers alone can save you?" Lu Fan's eyes turned cold. He decided in an instant. They must pay the price for this insult. He walked forward with slow but firm steps. His face was now completely serious. In a deep voice, he ordered, "Everyone, come out!" The sky lost its balance as his words spread through the air. The next moment, Xiaoji, Xiaofei, Star Dragon, and almost all the other dragons appeared. The thunder of their giant wings shook the ground, and their shadows covered the entire sky. All the color drained from the Heavenly Rider's face. He started counting unconsciously. 1, 2, 3. His voice stopped before he could finish counting. "How is that possible? So many dragons. It's impossible." Surprise and fear floated in his eyes simultaneously. Finding a true dragon in this world is more difficult than reaching heaven. But how did he get so many? The roars from above seemed to hint at a coming storm, and Lu Fan, he just stood there silently, his eyes telling him that the real answer would be found in battle. The old man's eyes were filled with disbelief. He had seen that Lu Fan had more dragons than anyone could have ever dreamed of, and now this new layer opened up. How deep is his power? But a cold smile appeared on Lu Fan's lips. "Don't rush. I have another big surprise, and it will be worth seeing your face." The elder sister was calm, as if she knew all this beforehand. Her eyes said, "Now the real game begins." Suddenly, Lu Fan waved his hand in the air, and two figures appeared. Erhu and Yutian. They were already dead, but now there was no life in their eyes, only cold, stiff obedience. They were now Lu Fan's puppets. The palace rider and Huang turned to stone for a moment. They were dead. Now, these were his slaves. And then, there was a heavy, thumping echo of footsteps. Another army appeared. Hundreds of warriors that Lu Fan had already killed now stood at his command as puppets. The presence of each one was equivalent to a battle in itself. The Heavenly Rider's throat went dry. If each of these puppets can fight a noble alone, then we... The old man's eyes narrowed. He understood. These are people from the Taiki kingdom. And now, part of Lu Fan's forces. Fear began to spread in the air. Sweat was dripping from the mansion rider's forehead, but stubbornness burned in his eyes. We must fight. But now there were not just dragons and puppets standing in front of them. There were also demon beasts, each one smelling of death. And then, the event that froze everyone's soul occurred. Lu Fan stared at them silently. His eyes were gleaming coldly. Flames swirled around him, as if the air itself had been set ablaze. Let me see how long your nobles can hold their breath. After this, no one will survive," he said in a low yet heavy voice. The next moment, fire flashed in his eyes. The flames flared up, and his form began to change. The rattle of bones transforming, wings spreading, and a roar that shook the earth. Lu Fan had now become a dragon himself. As his wings spread into the sky, the ground beneath the valley rider and the old man's feet seemed to shift. Their eyes widened. He not only controls dragon, but can transform into a dragon himself. This power is nothing short of a demon. Lu Fan raised his face to the sky, and his roar echoed across the battlefield. The roar was so deep that it seemed as if some ancient power behind the clouds was responding, as Lu Fan's body transformed into a giant, fiery dragon form. His roar pierced the sky. His eyes were two burning balls of fire, and shadows covered the battlefield as his wings spread out. "GFI, now!" The command resounded like lightning. GFI stepped forward, the mysterious jade in his palms glowing. The next moment, the jade mirror clone activated. Two gleaming mirrors formed in the air, casting images of himself onto the battlefield. These weren't mere images. Each clone carried all the skills of the original body, 30% of the power, and doubled for allies with dragon or blood. In the blink of an eye, the battlefield was flooded with real and fake warriors. The old man froze at Lu Fan's roar. A cold understanding descended upon him. "We have invited our own death by provoking Lu Fan's clan, but it was too late. Now, no one will go alive." Lu Fan's voice seemed to come from the sky. He shook his wings and shot forward, releasing a massive wave of fire. The flames were so intense that anyone he touched screamed in pain. The smell of burning flesh filled the air, but the old man was still not ready to give up. He reached forward and raised a shield of blue light from his palm. The shield protected him from the flames, while the valley dragon shielded himself with his wings. Just then, lightning roared in the sky. The star dragon, always eager for battle, charged forward without waiting for Lu Fan's command. As his massive wings spread, circles of blue lightning began to spin around him. He roared, and streams of lightning danced in the air as if to reduce everyone to ashes in the next moment. The other dragons were also staring at Ryder with their sharp eyes. At that moment, Ryder's face turned pale. There was only one question in his mind. Is this really Nightmare? Or are we facing a monster from another world?